I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 John Wick kills.
He with you?
He was.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most brutal, creative, and hilarious ways Baba Yaga has eliminated enemies. Which famous movie assassin would you pit against Baba Yaga? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Some assembly required. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
$14 million bounty on his head. Every interested party in the city wants a piece of it. I'd say the odds are about even.
While Wick is running away from a group of assassins, he finds a display case full of guns. But the one he chooses isn't compatible with the bullet he picked up. This is when Wick shows us how easy it is for him to take a gun apart. While his pursuers get closer, he ensures the weapon is good to fire. Wick gets it together just in time to eliminate a target. Seeing him go through all that trouble just to take down one person was admittedly a little funny. But on a serious note, this kill reinforced that Wick is such a great assassin, he doesn't mind a little assembly under pressure. He's just that good with guns.
We may have to consider our choices carefully.
Why?
Much has changed during your time away.
Number 9. Scaling the Sumo Assassin. John Wick Chapter 2.
Accounts payable, how may I help you?
I'd like to open an account.
Name on the account?
John Wick.
A typical walk down the street almost turned into a deadly event after Baba Yaga was attacked by the Sumo Assassin. When Wick tries to lean back on his fighting skills, he finds that his opponent is almost completely unaffected by his blows. Baba Yaga's attempts to shoot his foe in the sides also fail to get results. Left with no other choice, Wick scales his enemy's body and aims the gun at the Sumo Assassin's vulnerable head. He also makes sure to double tap later. This relatively simple execution is so memorable because of the size of the boogeyman's enemy. No matter how big or powerful you are, you'll fall if you get in Wick's way.
He owed me. I had every right.
And now, he's coming again.
Number 8. Pure Carnage. John Wick.
How much?
Excuse me.
How much for the car?
She's not for sale.
When Wick isn't busy fighting off legions of enemies, you might find him behind the wheel of a car. He's gotten so good at driving that he can use any vehicle to set up cool executions. After Wick is driven to get revenge against the crime boss Tarasov, the assassin has to deal with a few goons. Baba Yaga proceeds to reverse into one guy to make the unlucky dude roll across the car. While the goon is on the roof, he's shot multiple times by Wick. This cool and kinetic kill helped the assassin warm up for the main event against Tarasov. But if we had been in that crime boss's shoes, we would have given up when Wick proved he knew Kung Fu. Number 7. Diving in for the kill. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. We'd be lying if we said that every scene in the John Wick franchise was completely realistic.
He with you?
He was.
However, one of the assassin's best displays of violence exists because the filmmakers respected the laws of physics. While Wick is battling a heavily protected enemy, the duo tumbles into the water. The masked enemy quickly recovers and tries to shoot the hero. But since they're underwater, the bullets curve downwards instead of flying straight ahead. Wick takes advantage by swimming over to his enemy and shooting them right in the vulnerable spots of the body armor. This brilliant kill shows that this action franchise can be exciting and educational.
I'm a huge fan. John Wick. And so far, you haven't disappointed.
Number 6. Making Killa Harkin fall. John Wick Chapter 4. The bulky villain Killa Harkin needed to be taken out so that John Wick could get another chance at life.
Wick in the flesh. The Baba Yaga. Must be Christmas, yeah?
Unfortunately, the hero found that toppling this big bad was harder than it looked. John fails to eliminate Killa with conventional weapons or fists. In the end, the assassin has to rely on gravity itself to do the job. With a defiant push, Wick knocks Killa off balance and sends the antagonist on a one-way trip to the ground.
Why don't you just die?
The protagonist also takes a golden souvenir from his enemy as proof that he succeeded. Although Wick's victory here isn't flashy, the fact that gravity helped him defeat such a tremendous opponent made this great fall memorable.
The Ruska Roma will support your challenge.
Number 5. An enemy really gets the point. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. Bringing a knife to a fight against Baba Yaga is generally a bad idea. When the assassin ends up in between glass cases full of knives, he quickly turns the sharp weapons into deadly projectiles. Wick has a little trouble putting his foes down with the blades at first, but as time goes on, he gets increasingly accurate. It all culminates in the moment where he throws knives at an enemy on the ground that tries to shoot him. Wick uses 3 precise projectiles to turn his foe into a very dead human pincushion. If the assassin ever needed to make a little extra coin, he could always make people pay to see his knife-throwing skills.
Afraid our friend here is off limits.
But he's excommunicado.
It seems the manager has granted him amnesty.
Number 4. A fiery double tap. John Wick Chapter 4. During the protagonist's trip to Paris, he becomes the target of numerous assassins.
A wicked man from the Big Apple is making a beeline to our sacred heart. We're putting the call out to deliver your hardest beats to this man in black.
A few of them happen to carry fiery bullets known as dragon's breath. Unfortunately for those assassins, Wick was way too determined to conclude his beef with the High Table to be stopped by fire.
How goes the grand farewell tour?
Coming to an end.
The protagonist easily gets his hand on a gun loaded with the draconic ammo and runs with it. Although Wick dispatches many people with fiery rounds, one goon's demise shone brighter than the rest. One of the assassins runs around after the protagonist literally lights him up. When John sees the inflamed enemy, he finishes off the foe with a second fiery blast. We think he deserves a toast for ending an enemy with such flair.
We seek the truth and will endure the consequences.
Consequences.
Number 3. By the book. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Looking a little run down there, John.
Ernest, I still have time.
He's almost up. Who's gonna know the difference?
You might not want to tell the local librarian about this one. When a particularly tall villain catches Wick off guard, the assassin grabs a book and goes to work. The literary tome serves as a great defensive tool and offensive weapon. After dealing a series of painful blows with the book, Wick invites his foe to get a closer look at the reading. And by that, we mean that the assassin Wick knocked his enemy's neck into the book with such force that the collision was instantly fatal. This incredibly creative assassination ended with the hilarious sight of Baba Yaga putting the tome back on the shelf. While we love this scene, we don't think we'll be reading that particular book anytime soon.
Please, there's still time. No, I can't.
Number 2. Not horsing around. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. From the start of the franchise, it was clear that Wick really cared about animals.
Is that the dog? He likes you.
So it was nice to see a few creatures help him out in the 3rd film. The assist comes when hitmen try to slay John while he's in a stable. After he's unable to pick up a gun, the assassin encourages a horse to kick his enemy. The powerful blow swiftly sent the goon to the land of the dead. Wick finds that working with a horse is so effective that he gets a separate equine alley to eliminate a second enemy. Both of the kicking kills are funny, surprising, and incredibly brutal. Wick's animal instincts ensured this pair of horse executions would leave a strong impression on viewers.
John, you're incredible.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The pencil is mightier than the assassin. John Wick Chapter 2.
I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil.
The first time we heard that Wick slaughtered 3 people with a pencil, we thought it was just a ridiculous rumor. but the filmmakers made it clear that this iconic account wasn't just a tall tale. When John gets jumped by 2 enemies in the second film, he manages to get his hands on a pair of pencils. After using the writing utensils to turn the tide of the fight, the assassin killed the 2 assailants in such a gruesome fashion that we can't show the fatalities here. Seeing Wick slay foes with something we used in school for pop quizzes solidified why he's a legendary assassin. In his hands, a pencil is just as deadly as a gun.
People keep asking if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.